Peyton, the business biz. Why don't you tell them how much of a warrior we are?
Tiki.
Darling, is it really a Brat summer still? We're about to find out. It's all the rage, that's all I hear. Okay? Well, hello. If you don't know who I am Peyton 3.0, and this is the Peyton 3.0 Hot New Music Reviews. Okay? And this series is called Is That the Girl or Is It Not? Meaning, is it hot or not? Is it a bop or a flop? Is it a turn up? We're about to find out. So anyway, you all know by now this is competing for the Brat review. I've heard, of course, the 2 singles from this album and bits and pieces of other things. I've also heard Girl featuring Lord. That was great. Well, we're about to get right into it. Is this album as good as they say? Honey, we're about to find out, okay? Even going so far as to get Kamala Harris a Brat seasoning. So we're about to find out. So anyway, if you're over here today, please hit the like button, share with your friends, and comment and subscribe. Why not? Now, this is a review from a musician's point of view, and I know that you've heard other musicians go ahead and review other albums, but we're all different in the way that we describe things and that we relate things back. I'm somebody with an ear that can tell, kind of like a P. Diddy, a golden ear, that just has an ear for like good music. I don't remember if it's in a genre I don't care for. I don't tell if it's good or if it's bad. Go back to the drawing board, okay? So I'm gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. Just to let you know, there is disclaimer. There is a copyrighted music played on this station, okay? We gotta remain YouTube friendly, ad friendly, to get those coins eventually coming in, okay? As for if you want to enjoy the process with me for albums, Patreon is on the way, but this is a brand new channel, so there's no Patreon yet, and we can just go ahead and rock out full out to albums together and have a discussion. But on this network, that's not gonna be possible, okay? Thank you. Let's get right on into it. The first track, the one we all know, 360. By the way, this is the standard edition, not the deluxe, whatever. Come on, sing with me. The touch. Wicked goes. Yeah, 360. That was Charlie XCX's 360. I love the track personally. I think it was a great choice as the first single. I'm glad that the album is going up the way it is in the mainstream, the way that it is. I thought that the track she's giving what the actual album's about. Like, she's all that. She's that you know what. And she knows that you like what you see. She's that bold, especially as a woman, woman empowerment, to be that kind of character. And that's, we kind of watch Charlie, that's kind of basically who she kind of is in real life, But I heard there were some vulnerable moments on this album, so some vulnerable moments on the album, so I'm looking forward to seeing what those are. Let's go to the next track. Club Classics. Yes. When I go to the club, I want to hear those club classics. Okay. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. All right, that was Charlie XCX's Club Classics. It's obviously the girl. It's the girl, okay? And let me tell you why it's the girl. Because the production by AG, yes, I did my homework, is brilliant. And what she brings to this track about, of course, going to the club again, because it just seems that the club is not the same, and you know, it was more fun back then, and they had some good stuff. You know, since the format has changed, music business itself is not the same as it used to be. It's just not as good as it used to be. We want to go back and hear those grave club classics. You know, in the UK, that's where Charlotte's from, aka Charlie. We want to hear those club classics. And she's talking about, I want to dance to me. You know why she deserves to say she loves to dance to her? Because she's worked her in this business for years now. She was 14 when she got in, and now she's 31, okay? And now she's really just getting her huge momentum for the next level, okay? So isn't that something? That's telling you something that time is not a factor. It's just a matter of when. And she deserves to be as cocky as you want to be and say, I want to dance to me. I want to dance to AG, which is the producer of most of these, not all these tracks on the album. So good job. Good job. Next track. Sympathy is a Knife. Okay. Okay, that was Charlie XCX's Sympathy is a Knife. I feel like this is the first vulnerable track we're getting from Charlie. And this one, of course, is due to upbeat music, which I love that. It's kind of like Pumped Up Kicks from, what was that band? Pumped Up Kicks. It was a huge hit over here in the US. That's where I'm at, folks. The US. You know the song I'm talking about, right? Hold on. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, you better run faster than my bullets. That song. Anyway, yes, I told you I'm a real musician, folks, okay? Take lessons. I live, eat, and breathe, and sleep this stuff, okay? My whole life. Anyway, now I'm just trying to make a living off of it. Hard thing to do, but especially today, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, that was, again, Sympathy is a Knife. Like I said, she's getting that vulnerability in. She's getting, you know, she's spiraling. She's getting too much, you know, and getting stabbed in the back in return for it. I know what she means. That's why I'm not as easy to give my time and emotions away to just anybody. But anyway, next track. And yes, this track is The Girl too. It's That Girl. I think we're getting deep on this one. Okay. I might say something stupid. It's the track, by the way. All right, girl. I feel so cold. Is it chilly in here? All right, that was I May Say Something Stupid, and she's getting very, very vulnerable with us on this one, but the track is also very slowed down and vulnerable, so we really get to feel the intensity of what Charlotte is trying to tell us. She's obviously at a party somewhere or some kind of event, and she's in love with a, well, not in love, but she thinks the boy's cute, but she's afraid that she might say something stupid. She doesn't want to go up to him. Sorry, she doesn't want to go up to him, and so she's kind of like beating around the bush and maybe playing a little game, and then he notices her, and he doesn't notice her at all. It's not obvious. And, you know, she's acting strange because she's in love with the boy. Or she has a crush on the boy. So, she proceeds to follow him. And then she says, he's going to the bathroom, I'm going in with him too. But then she goes, wait, then I found crazy. Am I on the right track? I'm mixing up my tracks. I'm sorry, folks. This is, I might say something stupid. I'm sorry. She's at a party somewhere at somebody's place, and she feels like the outsider. I'll talk about another track somewhere on the album. She feels like an outsider that I heard earlier. An outsider somewhere, like she just belongs there. Somebody opens the door for her, but she still feels like she doesn't belong there. She's halfway in, she's halfway out. Also talking about like kind of like the industry, you know, not being kind of popular, being kind of known but not really known, and nobody really cares for her, but at the same time they do, you know, that kind of thing. So, and there are ways that we can relate in our own lives to that sort of situation, right? But next track. This one is called Talk Talk. Woo. There we go. Are you thinking about Charlotte? All right, anyway. That was Talk Talk. This is the track I was talking about, where she talks about the boy who she's trying to get attention from, but she's shy, falls into the bathroom, but she felt crazy, like she should, okay, because that kind of breeds its own problems. We want to be inclusive here, but if it says it's for men and she's a woman, I'm not even going to touch that subject. Nope. Anyway. Yes, but she just wants them to talk to her. She just wants to be noticed, and you know, we all have been there, you know. Now some of us get our Prince Charmings to talk to us. Some of us find out that he's a frog, and you know, maybe not. But anyway, I loved it. It's definitely the girl. AG, if he produced this track, definitely did his thing. And yes, we all can relate to it. Next track. I think this is like the second or first single, Von Dutch. I've heard it before. Let's sing it together. I'm your number one. I'm your number one. Von Dutch. But it's still pop. It's so obvious. I'm sorry, folks. It's a one-man show here. Haha. Who cares? That was Von Dutch, honey. And of course, it gave life. Of course, here she is again. She goes from being very vulnerable to being very overconfident. Not in a bad way, but confident, almost cocky, like you know you like her. You want this. Okay, get into it. And it's a very nice contrast. Then it's saying just that one note. It is okay if it did say that one note throughout the whole album, but it's nice that we get that contrast of vulnerability. And when she's not being vulnerable, you better watch out and get out of her way. The next track. Everything is romantic. This is kind of dreamy. Okay, a change of pace. Oh. Wasn't expecting that. Now that was completely chaotic, but I love that kind of stuff. And everything is romantic. It just, let me tell you how this track felt to me, how it read to me, okay? You know I'm gonna get a good reading in, right? Okay. Let me get my read fan out for you. Bam, okay. So, the way the track read to me is the way that the world feels outside of me right now. That's the way this track read to me. Like, everything was all over the place. Nothing made sense on the track. And it was just a bunch of gibberish and gerbil, basically. But that's literally how the world feels and is outside of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if this is definitely one of my favorite tracks, and this is definitely that girl, okay, let's move on. Rewind. Okay, but sometimes we do need to rewind. Okay, so that was Charlie XCS's Rewind. And I love the instrumentation and the production on this track. Good job, AG. I love the song. I love the fact that it's a reflection song. Sometimes I just want to rewind, go back to those old days, because we tend to tell ourselves it was better back then. And maybe in some instances, it was actually better back then. But unfortunately, we can't go back. We can only reflect in our minds what we thought it was or the feeling of it, but that's about it, you know? That's about it. And sometimes it's cool to just reflect and rewind, but not let the past consume you to where it is tripping you up from moving forward and being better for the future. So anyway, next track. This one is called So I. We're sad again. We're vulnerable. We're deep. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, that was Charlie XCX's So I. And what this track, if you're not a big fan of Charlie, or you're just getting on the bandwagon of Charlie, I've been a fan of Charlie's for a long time since she first premiered on the scene with Iggy Azalea's Fancy. Pop That Kitty Down Low. Yes, so I've been a fan for a long time. Even though she hasn't been in the business for that long, but she's been in it long enough. So, actually, that's pretty long for an artist to be in the business, especially a woman. So give it up for Charlie. But what I was saying is that this song was dedicated to one of the originators of this kind of PC, I like to call it a part of EDM personally. Electronic. They called it hyper. It was like hyper pop. Okay, her name was Sophie. I think Sophie was she transgender? I think she was, but she just taught her a lot of things, even if she wasn't always sure or wanted the help or whatever. But it really made her who she is today. And then all of a sudden, she passes away really tragically. I don't want to get into it here, but just know that she passed. She passed. And yeah, anyway, that's what this track is about, basically. So let's get on to the next track. Now this is Girl. So confusing. Oh, I hate this share. And I don't know. That was Girl So Confusing. That was just the regular version without Lord on it. But we all know what this track is talking about. She's talking to Lord. She thinks Lord has some kind of vendetta against her, that she doesn't like her, whatever. Meanwhile, Lord just trying to survive psychologically in Hollywood when it comes to her weight and everything, you know, losing it not the right way, and gaining it all back and all that stuff. I think the first time I heard her reply on the other one, I cried because it was so sad, and not only was it sad, and it was so relatable. So kudos to Lord, and kudos to AG and Charlie. Next track. This one's called Apple. Okay. Make me pull my mic out. I know you know it. Here we go. Ha ha ha. That was Apple from Charlie XCX. And I just realized what this song was about, as upbeat and happy as the production is. Like I said, it's like that pumped up kick song. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks. Anyway, it's like that song again, but this is about generational trauma, right? How the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And that could be a good, well, that could be a good or a bad thing, depending on how your parents or maybe even your grandparents, you know, are or were, you know? It could be generational curses, it could be outstanding things that are passed down, but yes, it can be either way. Let's go ahead and get to the next track. This one is back to back. All right. Back to back to back. All right, that was Back to Back, or B2B by Charlie XCX. Now, if you don't or didn't get what this track was originally about, she's talking about she doesn't want to go back to that old thing that didn't work. That old thing that made her feel less than. That old thing that she had to strip off of her. Maybe you should go back to the woman that you left me for or cheated with me on and whatever, but I don't want it back. You know, I don't want it back. And I couldn't blame her. I mean, would you want it back? So don't let it come chasing you. You send it right back out the door. Okay? Next track. This one is called Mean Girls. Where the mean girls at? Where are the bad girls at? This one is for my. This one. Yeah, well, that was Mean Girls, and basically the track is dedicated to, well, basically all the girls out there, honey. Break your heart apart, girls. Rude girls. All mean girls. All of you, okay? So, dedication to all the kind of girls that are out there. Yes. Yes. Sorry about that. Yes. Anyway, let's get to the next track. This one is called Think About It All the Time. We're getting deep. So that was Think About It All the Time. And she's literally giving you a story as if she was sitting next to you, talking to you. A real honest story about what she has in her life right now. at the tender age of 31, and you know she's at the crossroads of her life, or maybe she's a little bit over the crossroads, and she's wondering if she's held down and have this baby. And she also met Bad Baby, aka Danielle Bregoli, you know, the Catch Me Outside girl. I know she don't like that. You don't like that girl, so I'm sorry. I just wanted to reference it so that people remember that are a little bit thick in the head. Anyway. And I was like, Bad Baby, she had a baby, honey. Really? I thought that I was going crazy until the news report with her man, and her baby, and her being, you know, domestically, you know what, by him, allegedly. Allegedly, we know the facts. People spin stories all the time. Don't want to know these people. But, ooh, this foot, honey. Here we go. Anyway. She's thinking about settling down. But the other side of her is saying that she doesn't want to do that. And maybe she wants her freedom more than she wants anything else. That includes a ball and chain and a family, you know? And that's a very vulnerable place to be in mentally. And eventually all of us will relate if we ever come to those crossroads and haven't done it already, okay? So let's get to the next track. This is the last track, 365. Okay, remix? Yes. Okay. Yes. Woman nap. Okay, she's gonna do in the bathroom. Woman nap. That was the last track on the standard edition, which is all I'm reviewing today. Oops. He said, whoop. Okay. So that was 365. I actually like this way better than the original version. And then it gets crazy at the end. I'm just like, ooh. Yeah, you know. And so that's the whole album in a nutshell. And every track on here is a straight flush. Number one. That's a rarity. This album is that girl. Massive replay value. It has amassed a culture on the mainstream surface of its own. And I'm just proud of Charlie XCX. So great job for you, girl. Okay? And stream this over and over if you haven't already. This is replay value. I know I am. Or deluxe version too and whatnot, you know? But anyway, this has been the review. It is that girl, and you can trust what I say. So make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, you share with your friends, all of that. Let's have a discussion in the comment section what you think about this album. Maybe you don't like the album. It's up for debate. Let's go. See you in the comment section. Watch another video of mine over here, or both places. Okay? Click on that. Have a great one.
Peyton, the business, biz. Why don't you tell them how much of a warrior we are?
Tu kiffes mon son?
Going up in audition rooms, heartbeat fast, now it's my turn soon. Judges speak and they all say no. Back to the drawing board we go. I was sing every night.